What's up everyone, Justin here. I just wanted to give an update on my life and everything that I've been going through, all the realizations I've had, honestly, the past few months. If you've noticed, if you actually follow me, I haven't posted a long form video here on YouTube for maybe a couple months, and it's very unlike me. And I think a big reason for that is I was trying to figure out what my passion really is. And it's silly to say because there are two train of thoughts out there on social media. The first of those thoughts is all the people saying passion does not matter. Just find something you can do really good at it, and once you earn the money, all this money in the world, you're not going to worry about being passionate about it. That's one of the train of thoughts. It's one of the schools of thought on social media that we see today. The other train of thought is no. Find your passion first, and if it takes a lot of trying, try a bunch of different things, find something that you, in your heart, think that you can love, and stick to it, and really the money will not matter. Now, I've gone through different beliefs with that statement, or those statements. And at first, when I started entrepreneurship in business, I was a personal trainer. I started in the fitness industry because I loved fitness. That's actually why I fell in love with the idea of entrepreneurship. I was a personal trainer. I was just super into fitness and building my physique. And I've actually kind of fell off the train a little bit. And it's made me realize I haven't been as happy lately. And I think happiness is really underrated, actually, in today's world. And when I started entrepreneurship as a personal trainer and got into the fitness industry, I was loving it. And I was loving every single minute of it. And I shifted from doing fitness to doing more real estate. And I think real estate, even today, will always be a part of my life. I would have done a lot of things differently, knowing what I know today, if I were to start over again. And one of the things that I realized that as I was doing this real estate thing, doing the real estate investing, keep in mind, I am 26 years old now, and I bought my very first home at 21. So I've been investing in real estate for 5 years. And over the past 5 years, I've realized that all the energy that I've put into my business for real estate investing is kind of eating me up. Even though I've done pretty well for myself, doing really well in the real estate investing, now it feels like, what was I doing it all for? Yes, we've made good money, but there's something about how my life has felt recently versus what it used to feel like. And I know there's the thing about being grateful for everything, and I'm very grateful for, everything that I'm doing today and everything where I'm at today. However, I did a lot of reflecting, and I remember how happy I was when I was involved in fitness heavily. And it just made me think of should I be doing more fitness things? Should that be where my life is revolved around? Because that's where I was so happy being around. And even though it might have taken a lot of years to figure that out, I'm still in the process of figuring this thing out. But I think that is the route that I want to go, back to fitness, in terms of, I don't even know what it's going to be, but I just know when I first started content, the first idea I had about why I want to start content was just to document my journey, whether that was through real estate or fitness or whatever thing that I was doing, just to document the journey. Now, my content strategy has shifted, and actually I started out a lot differently because I just wanted to monetize really fast, which is why I chose real estate investing, which is why I chose education on YouTube for real estate investing, because you could monetize it way faster, and I have. But because of that, it just felt like a grind that I haven't enjoyed that much. I love helping people, and I'm still very happy to help people with the real estate investing thing. But I realized that I didn't do the whole documenting as much as I initially planned because I knew that it wasn't as fast to monetize. And I think maybe the people who see my videos or saw my videos could feel it, because I know I felt it. And I think if I go back to what I'd like to actually talk about, was just document anything, all the downs, all the ups, no matter how bad, no matter how good, just to show everything that I'm going through. And for me, it's more so something for myself, honestly. It's a selfish purpose where I can see what I'm doing and how I'm progressing throughout the years. And for anyone out there who's trying to figure it out what they're going to be doing in life or figuring out themselves, doing some self-discovery, there's nothing wrong with feeling like you're regressing, going backwards. Like, this is something that I had to go through recently and was like, wow, I started in fitness, went to this whole real estate thing. It's been great, but I don't even know if that's where my passion lies. And I felt like I've almost regressed. But then I realized you aren't truly regressing. You're just getting clarity. You're just figuring out life. That's what life is. And you can't worry about what other people will think of you, if you have to go back to one thing or do whatever it is. So that's kind of what I've started to figure out recently. Now, I know most of the people here who have watched me for real estate investing. And there are a lot of things that I would have done differently, knowing what I know now, and if I started over today. And I want to share those things with you too, so you didn't come to this video for nothing. If now all you're hearing is like, oh wow, this guy can talk about just fitness now. It's like, honestly, for content-wise, I want to talk about everything. I don't care if it's something that's not a direct path to monetizing quickly on social media. I think I'm just going to be happier talking about that stuff. And if I were to start over in real estate investing today, all the things I would do differently are these things. 1, I would not have wholesaled and flipped as much as I have. Like 90% of my business have been flips and wholesales. And the reason is they're all transactional. Yeah, you make great money. And I did it because I needed money at the time. Like, that was my full-time occupation. But looking back, I might have kept a W-2 job and just started to really build up the rental portfolio from the young starting point. Because that's how I started in real estate. I started in real estate with 1 rental property. That was my first purchase. And when I bought that, the reason I went to flipping and wholesaling is when I used my own money for a conventional loan. And I was like, dude, I'm out of money. Like, how do people do this real estate investing thing full time? So then I learned flipping and wholesaling because I could do that without my own money. But now I realize if I were to start over, I still would have attacked the rentals, but I would have learned to raise money so much faster, so that I would be able to accumulate rentals without any of my own money. And maybe, yeah, I would have taken a W-2 job in the meantime for stability, because I've also realized that stability is something that I really value just as a person in my life. And it's weird because I've been my own boss for like the past 5-6 years. And what they don't tell you as a business owner is that you feel the constant stress, the constant pressure, the constant put out fires all the time. No matter how many people you put in place, even if you're at the very top, I admit, I have some friends who are very successful, and even though they might have people in place at the top of their companies who are handling pretty much everything, there is still a constant feeling of you're gonna have to put out something, you're gonna deal with something. Whereas with the W-2s, they're bashed on way too much, honestly, in the social media world, the entrepreneurial space, that they're these bad things. But honestly, if stability is something that you really value, there's nothing wrong with jobs. So these are just all the things I've realized. Like I said, for real estate investing, I would have flipped wholesales way less, do more rentals, and raised money from them, develop that skill set, because it's a skill set that I have now. And I want to really hone in on this now. Like, I really would love to, 1, rebuild from the past year. So if you guys have not realized, we're coming off a real estate recession. And I've lived through my first recession of real estate. I've made it through. I'm still offloading my very last flip. And I don't think I want to be flipping that much anymore, as I've realized. Because I've realized when things get hit, the market gets hit, and you're stuck in a purchase, it's real hard to salvage it. And you might have to lose a little bit of money, which I've lost a little bit of money. Nothing crazy, but still, they're still painful. Like, little losses, they're painful. Big losses, they're painful. Break-evens are painful, especially when you have to pay back your private money lenders when you lose money. Although it helps your reputation, so keep doing that. But yeah, that's what I would have done differently. And also, the thing that I've realized is that I did not focus enough on protecting everything I earned. And keep in mind, I'm a very frugal person in general, but when it came to my business, I was pretty spend heavy. I would spend on a lot and I burned through a lot of money, trying to attack my social media, trying to build a lot of the editors for this, cold call marketing for real estate investing, other types of marketing for social media, like different things that I've invested in and tried and tested and I've lost a lot of money because of that. And there's nothing wrong with trying, but it's made me realize that if I were to start all over from scratch, I would have focused 100% on the real estate investing on free marketing lead gen sources. Meaning, most people, when they start real estate investing, they start doing a lot of cold calling, texting, and they might have to hire virtual assistants where they're paying, a couple hundred or thousands of dollars every single month to generate leads and then to buy these houses. I would not have done that. And that's what I did when I started out. I did a lot of that cold calling and I hired out VAs. But if I was starting over again, everything would have been free. I would have tried to find deals on the MLS for free. I would have tried to find deals from relationships with wholesalers and wholesalers and maybe some realtors. And I would have tried to make good relationships with the wholesalers to buy their dead leads. And I would have tried to convert all of their dead leads with some type of creative financing deals or just any deals because I trust my ability to close better than maybe the average wholesaler. So I would have done all those things, which are all free ways to make money in real estate investing. And when I got the deals, instead of just flipping it for the 30K or 20K profit or however much or wholesaling it, I would have found a way to hold that thing. Because I was looking back at my very first rental, I bought that a couple years ago. Actually, I looked back a while ago, but if I just kept that property, I would have had $100,000 to $200,000 extra of equity today from just holding it and just sticking through. And I sold that thing to have the funds to start and launch my house flipping and wholesaling company. Like that's why I sold the property. And looking back, I was like, I probably could have made really good money if I just held it, kept it rented, and maybe bought another rental and just done the same thing. Like there's nothing wrong with going slow in real estate investing. That's what's made me realize that too. There's nothing wrong with slow. Slow makes a lot of money and it generates a lot of wealth. So those are the things that I would have done differently, or at least how I would have thought differently when I was starting out. And now, like I said, I'm in the process of just rediscovering myself and my passions, which is perfectly okay. And actually, I'm headed back to California. I'm going back to my hometown, Clovis, California. I'll be living there temporarily. And actually, that was for a lot of different reasons, where I won't get into all of it, but some of it was Vegas. Like, I live in Vegas now. Vegas is pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't know if I see myself living here forever. It's different. I don't know how else to explain it, but I kind of do miss California. I'll be moving back there with my girlfriend. It'll be nice to be back and, be close to my parents again, because I don't visit too often. I've been guilty of that. They're in California. So I'm excited to go back. It'll be kind of like a fresh start. And like I said, all the stuff that I'll be doing today and so on, it's kind of like a big rebuild year. I'm trying to make sure that I can recover from previous losses on house flips. When bad things happen, you're always going to figure it out, but you have to find a way to rebuild. So right now I am in the process of rebuilding, the real estate with a different strategy now, like I said, to attack the rentals. And I don't care what anyone says of like, oh, you need to do a lot more money to have rentals. Like, no, I have the ability and the skill set now to raise money. That's a skill set that I've developed, fortunately, because of social media, because I've been putting out all this content for years, helping people with real estate investing. So that's why I don't think this was a waste. This was not a waste, focusing so hard on real estate investing, but I just want to be doing something where I can feel that kind of passion and that fire in me again. Even when I started house flipping 5 years ago, maybe less, like 3 years ago for the flipping specifically, when I started that, the fire was because it was just new and I wanted to learn something. I was like, this is pretty cool. I want to learn more about this. But once I did the first few house flips, I knew I didn't have that fire. I was like, oh, like these are these are okay. It's income. The income was great. That was like the positive of like, oh, I made great income on these. But the passion and the fire in doing them, even though I didn't do all the work, like I didn't do all the hammering or whatever you do at the projects that my contractors do, even some of the project management, a lot of the project management, I had project managers, but even just the feeling and the flow, the cash flow aspect of that business, it's not ideal. Like no one tells you this. Like I've flipped for a while and I've done well at it, but it's just, I haven't loved it as much. And I kind of knew that for a long time, but I just grinded it out because it was good income. And I think it's important now that I'm kind of part of that school of thought that I mentioned at the beginning, where passion matters. Figure out the passion, figure out what makes you go. And for me, whether that I know it for sure or not, I think it still lies in fitness. And I don't regret moving away from it because I think I've learned a lot of skills and lessons in the process of doing real estate investing full time. So that's where I'm at today. And the lesson for anyone watching here is just don't be afraid to shift. Don't be afraid to adjust or pivot. Don't be afraid of what anyone else thinks of you if you have to do anything to survive. If you have to do something that you might think people will judge you on, just who cares? Do your thing and make sure you're gonna be okay. Do whatever it takes. But I hope you enjoyed this video. This is definitely a big update video. I know I haven't posted in a while, but thank you so much for everyone who has been there along my journey. If you have come to my channel for just real estate investing, I still probably will be talking a lot about investing and real estate and finances because that's still a passion of mine too. But it probably won't be full on pure real estate investing education content anymore. It's gonna be something probably a little bit more documentary, where I'm documenting the things that I'm doing on the day-to-day and just talking about things that I actually like on the day-to-day, where I don't feel the pressure to just talk about one thing because it does get old. And that's gonna be my new start, my new journey. Thank you for watching and see you the next one.